What's up, everybody? I'm Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays, and this is Total Chaos. It's a show where I give these two expert handicappers 5 college basketball games. They're happening this Wednesday, February the 23rd, and they're going to tell me if they go over or under the total. Whoever gets the most correct comes back next week as the Total Chaos champion, and we're doing something a little special today. Usually, I take you guys on a tour through the top 25 games. However, we're doing some mid-majors today, all right? This is where all three of us like to make our money, is in the mid-majors, not the power conferences. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody about our sponsor, BetMGM. You want to check out the description of this video, and you're going to find a link. If you're a new account and get hooked up with BetMGM, they're going to hook you up with a $1,000 risk-free bet, so don't miss out on that value. And of course, like always, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. That way we keep all of this free content coming to you all week long. All right, my first contender in the ring is Tim Earl from Earl Sports Bets. How you feeling today, Tim?
Well, I'm good. This is where I make my money. These are the teams I like to look at, not because one of them is going to be my East Carolina Pirates, but no, this is just a bunch of smaller conference teams, teams that people might not know as much about because they're not always ranked. So these are the better lines to go after. I'm excited for it.
Yep, they are the better lines to go after. And Chris King from Whiners and Whiners, I'm sure you'll agree. How are you feeling today, Chris?
Well, I agree. Allie Tim's dead right. I mean, everybody can make money in mid-majors if you pay attention, because everybody pays too much attention to the power conferences. We love Wyoming and Colorado State, teams like that. The Mountain West, the Horizon League's always been good to us. And I'm going to have to back Tim. East Carolina is probably going to beat South Florida, much to the chagrin of my co-host, Jim Williams.
Will they beat them by 7 points, though? That's the question.
I think so. They beat them by 8 the first time. I don't see why they wouldn't beat them by at least that. Yeah, it was 65-57.
And now East Carolina's at home, where they're a lot better of a home team.
Yeah, and I love them.
South Florida is a terrible shooting team. I don't think they can hit water falling out of a boat.
They're a big team total under team on my show. Big team totals under. That's actually who we're going to start off with. We're going to go with South Florida at East Carolina. We like the Pirates to cover, but Tim Earl, do we like it to go over or under the 128.5?
I'm going to go over to start this one off. And the big reason why is East Carolina is a lot better of a home team than they are a road team. And you'll see them score a lot more at home. I think South Florida will put up a little bit of points, enough to help this one go over. I do think East Carolina probably covers in this game. They've been playing a lot better than expected this year, and South Florida is not a good team. So I do think they could put some points up on them. I wanted to go to that game. I might try to go to the game, but we'll see. I like the over in this one, though.
All right, Chris King, what do you got for me?
I'm going to agree with Tim. I think that, like he said, East Carolina plays much better at home than they do on the road. South Florida, for all their lovely plays, don't score a ton, but they should be able to at least hit the 60-point mark if we're lucky. That makes it a little bit easier for East Carolina to put up, I'm thinking, right around 70 points and push this one just past the mark. I just have no faith in South Florida to do anything but lose on a consistent basis. They're one of those teams where they like to fade.
Yeah, they're a fader.
Because they're terrible.
It's funny because they're so bad that I get nervous betting against them because I'm like, is this the game? Is this the game when it all comes together for this horrible team? No, it's not.
That's what I thought with Houston twice. But then, Houston ended up rolling them in the second half of those games, so that was beneficial. But you're right. Sooner or later, they're gonna screw somebody, and hopefully it's not us.
Yeah, hopefully I don't have a whole bunch of money on it when that happens. So Washington at Washington State, 134 to you, Chris King, over or under the total?
I'm going to go towards this one falling short of the mark. Washington State plays pretty decent defense. They're at home. They play very tough at the Friel Court. One thing I don't get is Washington's lack of cohesion at all. I mean, Mike Hopkins, we talk about him, he was the coach in waiting for 50 years behind Jim Boeheim, and then now he's in his 4th or 5th year with Washington. Both teams haven't played well of late. Washington State's dropped 5 in a row. Washington's dropped 3. But I think this one's going to end up short of the mark just because Washington's offense is abysmal, and Washington State hasn't been a whole lot better.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Tim, do you agree?
I'm not. I have this one around a 138 area. I just think that your Washington State will be able to put up enough points to help this one. They're averaging about 70 points a game. Even though Washington's offense is not good, they're averaging almost 70 themselves. It's the matter of whether or not the defenses are going to be able to hold up, and I don't think they hold up as well. Washington's defense is allowing about 73 points a game. Washington State's defense has been pretty good, but I just think this one's going to be a little bit more of a high-scoring game. I'm going to take this one to go over.
All right. Let's talk Cincinnati at Central Florida, 140 and a hook. What you got for me, Tim? Or conference again?
This one's my favorite conference, the American, but I like the over in this one as well. I just feel like you're going to get a little bit more offense from these two sides. UCF is averaging about 70. Cincinnati's averaging about 71. I feel like this one is going to be a very close game down to the end, and it could possibly even have an overtime in there. And if that's the case, that's going to really help it push it to the over. I have this one lined around a 144 area, so I like the over in this one.
All right. Chris, what do you think?
I was going to say I had it about 142, 143, so I think Tim's right. I think UCF, they've been playing better of late. Johnny Dawkins finally seems to have that team going in the right direction. The only thing that concerns me is whether Cincinnati's offense will show up or will Cincinnati roll over and die like we've seen them do in several games. That's the biggest concern that I have here. But I think Tim's right. It's going to go right down to the wire. These teams like close games for some reason. If you look, Cincinnati's been pushing over the 140, 150 mark the last several games, but they've also lost some games to teams that you wonder. Like I had them losing or beating Tulsa a couple weeks ago, and then Tulsa went and beat them at home. That was just discouraging. In the end, though, I think Tim's right. It's going to be probably about 144, 145. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime because I don't know if the fans can handle that many bricks, but what can you do, right?
Yeah, that's just it. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is that overtime is always a possibility in that game. So over is the way you've got to go on it. We've got Furman at Sanford. No, people, not Stanford, Sanford. They're a school too. We're talking 148 and a half. Chris King, what do you say?
I think that one's going over the total. Being down here in Greenville, South Carolina, not North Carolina, where Furman is, you see a lot of Bob Ritchie's team. They're very efficient on the offensive end. They don't push the tempo much, which is kind of the counter of what Sanford likes to do. Sanford likes to run. Sanford likes high-scoring games. The good thing is Sanford doesn't play defense, so that helps push the total up. I think this one's going to end up probably in the low 150s and end up past the number.
All right. Tim, agree or disagree?
I don't know. I'm on the under. I have this one around a 141. We get Sanford, who's been a pretty under team lately. They've gone under in 4 out of their 5 games. The only game that went into overtime. Granted, that one went way over with VMI. But I feel like this one's just going to be a lower scoring game. I just don't see this one getting over the 148 and a half total. I have it around a 141, so I'm going to go under.
All right, last one for the round. Texas State is at South Alabama, 132. Timothy Earl, lay it on.
We're going under. We're going under in this one. I have this one around a 129 area. You get these two teams who I know you might not see these two teams, Texas State and South Alabama, often, but they actually have really good defenses. South Florida is letting up about 63 and a half points a game, 63 for Texas State, both of them in the top 40 in the nation. They're getting about 71 and 72 points a game on offense, but I see this one being a more defensive game where you could definitely see this one being a 59 to 62 type game and go way under this total.
All right, way under. Chris King, do you think it goes way under, or are you going the way?
I don't know if it goes way under. I mean, we're not talking Boise State, San Diego State here.
Oh my God, 47-32 or whatever that was. That was garbage.
Yeah, 42-37.
I took that over.
But I think it's going to stay. I think it's going to stay under here. Like Tim said, Texas State is 30th in scoring defense. South Alabama is 33rd. Neither team is what you would consider more than an average offense when it comes to putting points on the board. I think this one's probably going to fall somewhere 125, 128, somewhere in that range, but it's going to end up short of the mark. I mean, you just look at some of the numbers lately, and you see Texas State hasn't given up more than 67 points once in the last 7 games. And South Alabama is a team that'll shut you down defensively too, which is scary because the Sun Belt is going to be an interesting conference tournament coming up. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of it. I mean, Texas State and South Alabama are right up at the top of the conference standings as it is. But I'm going to lean towards the under.
All right. So we agree. Remember, when they agree, those tend to be the money-making picks on the show. And if you missed any of them, we're about to do a recap. But first, I want to get to know our handicappers better and remind you to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. So Tim, Earl, you guys are usually at the tops of the leaderboards over at picksandparlays.net. That's where we sell the premium plays from our handicappers. Why don't you let the people at home know what you've got going on over at the site?
Oh yeah, we always have our college basketball. We normally have our best bet and our 9-pack up. NBA should be coming back on Thursday. Hockey, Nick is still rolling with. And hopefully if the players and the owners get together and actually come out to agreement, we can get baseball at some point of the year. I don't think it comes until probably late April, early May at the earliest, to be completely honest. But eventually I'm hoping we get it because the Mets are supposed to be good this year. So hopefully that works out. But I'm really hoping for some baseball. And then eventually, yes, I am. You know what? I am. Yeah. And then eventually in the midsummer, you get WNBA as well. So lots and lots of sports, pretty much year round. So ready to keep on rolling through it.
Yeah, if we could
Let me ask you, Tim, I was going to ask Elliot if either one of you were excited about the USFL draft today.
We'll see. I'll look into it a little bit more, but I mean, it's football. It's football.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest football person, but I feel like as long as we could get baseball before the NBA playoffs end, we'll be okay, because then we'll all still have a job. But if I have to start doing free pick videos on Russian table tennis, don't think I won't, okay? Because the show must go on.
Pick me. I'll do Russian table tennis. Let's roll. Come on, Allie, let's do this.
You're my number one person I'm going to do it with, Tim. That's just it.
At least I'll still have NASCAR, so.
Oh, there you go.
That's a once a week gig. All right. What do I do Monday through Saturday? That's a Sunday thing,
I still have Counter.
I guess you could follow golf,
Yeah, there's video games. We could
esports.
Oh, yeah,
we can table tennis. All right, we got things. The Olympics will be over by then. No curling, no summer curling. I'm just kidding. Chris King from Winners and Whiners. You guys had me on your show the other day. I wanted to bring you on one of mine. I had a great time with you and Jim. Tell the Picks and Parlays View crew what you're up to and where to find you.
Well, I mean, you can find me pretty much covering, like Tim, I cover just about everything on Winners and Whiners. I've written about everywhere from the ML or baseball to basketball to the KBO when, that was the only thing going on. There you go. That's something else that you can talk about. NASCAR, WNBA, we've done it all. If it's out there, we've probably done it. Monday to Fridays at the same time you're on, 1:30 Eastern. Jim Williams and I have just parlays. Where we talk about our best picks for the day, and along with a couple of parlays you can mix in there. And we have a good time. Hopefully we can get Tim on there. We're talking about Detroit Lenny coming on. I don't know if Jim's done that yet.
I know. I'm
obviously you'll be back. Obviously you'll be back next week from what Jim says.
Yes.
So that'll be good.
I'm going to try to do, it's my only day off is Monday, but at least until the end of this basketball season, I would love to come on every Monday just because it's my time of year and you guys talk about the kind of basketball I want to talk about. Tim Earl would be a great guest on that show too. This is our jam too. So we're all kind of intertwining Winners and Whiners and Picks and Parlays. We're all meshing together to become one big happy family. And that just means more picks for you guys at home. So again, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Oh, and if you guys are over at picksandparlays.net and you want to grab the Earl Sports Bets premium plays package, do it. And then use the promo code HOOP. Hoop, HOOP is going to save you 20% off all of their best bets. Their single game, 3-packs, 1 week subscription, a month, a year, whatever you guys need. Use that promo code. Get yourselves hooked up. Okay, let's do a recap. Remember when they agree, those tend to be money makers show. South Florida at East Carolina, they agree it's going over 128 and a hook. Washington and Washington State, we disagreed a little here. So Chris is going to go under. Tim is going to go over. That's okay. Someone's going to win the game. Cincy is at Central Florida. 140 and a half is going over the total. Furman at Sanford. That's so funny. You're in Greenville, South Carolina, and you're in Greenville, North Carolina. And Furman is in Greenville, South Carolina, too. 148 and a half. Chris is going over. Tim is going under. And for Texas State at South Alabama, they're both taking it under. 132 is just too many points. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'll catch you next time. And like I always say, may the best capper win. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.